Hey there, it's your girl Charnay by Grace, and I came to encourage you, as I always do, to remind you that we are the willing, led by the unknowing, doing the impossible for the ungrateful. We have done so much with so little for so long. We are now capable of doing anything with nothing. Welcome to part 15 of 28 Days of Equity.
The whole of humanity had all the solutions for the.
Today, we're going to talk about 5 different years that help us to remember how long we have been in this fight for equity. Number 1, 1619. 1619 is the first year African people were brought to America to provide free labor to European farms, plantations, and mines. In other words, it's not the first year African slaves were brought to America. It's the first year Africans were made slaves to work in America for free. And African people provided that free labor for a whopping 157 years until we get to our next pinnacle year. The second year to remember is 1776. July 4th, 1776 is when the Declaration of Independence was adopted, which meant absolutely nothing for Africans in America because we were still slaves. Nevertheless, this is when we celebrate independence in America. Anyway, next year. The next year is 1863, the year that the Emancipation Proclamation was put in place by Abraham Lincoln. This document declared that enslaved people in America were free. Hold on for a second. Have I ever told y'all about the time when I was a school counselor and the principal mandated all of the teachers to participate in the Black History door decorating contest? And I had one white teacher who insisted she would not participate so much that she decorated her whole door with Abraham Lincoln. And the crazy thing is, it took us 2 whole years to get free. Anyway, that brings us to our next year, and that's 1865. June 19th, 1865 is the last date of record that African slaves in America were notified that they were free. That is literally 2.5 years later. Moving on. The last year that I want to provide is 1965. On August 6th, 1965, the Voting Rights Act was passed so that racial discrimination could not take place in voting. This was huge for America, and this was huge for Africans in America. So the number to remember is 346. That's right, it took 346 years from the first time Africans were brought to this country to be able to legally vote without racial discrimination. So when we talk about the rollback of equity in this country, this is what we're talking about. As I always say, God is for you, Jesus is with you, the Holy Spirit is in you, all of heaven's angels are on your side. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about that. Bye.